Hello and welcome. My name is Robin and you're watching a Robin Reads, where I read a lot of different books that you probably have never heard of. So today is my April wrap up. I did read 13 books in April, which is pretty good. I think it's around my usual number, so that's good. But I also DNF'd a lot of books, and also just that I wasn't interested in. But I'm not going to really talk about those because it was just not really nice. I'm not totally sure how that happened, but I think just sometimes I expect something of a book and then the book doesn't give it, and then I'm like, I don't really like this. So with these books, it just happened. I did try to do for my reading tastes. But apparently not always that is enough. Let's get into my wrap up for April. Let me see in my little notebook. So the first book that I read in April was This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Moutar and Max Gladstone. This one I listened to on audiobook, and for the Buzzwordathon I was a month too late, but I did read it for the Buzzwordathon in March with the word time. So this book is about basically two agents, time agents sort of, who send letters to each other through time. And this is science fiction, adventurous, challenging, emotional and slow paced, and also queer, which is very nice. I basically liked everything about this book. The only thing was that it was sometimes just a little bit confusing. So I think I just need to reread it again to really appreciate it. And I gave it 4 stars. Then the books I read after that was basically my vlog of my Easter weekend vlog. So check it out up there if you are interested in that. I basically try to read as much as possible over a 4-day weekend basically. Then I read Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. This book I got from the library and sort of did a buddy read for it, but sort of. This book is about Piranesi, who lives in a house with long halls and a lot of statues, a sea that comes in, and birds. And the other who lives with him in the house warns him for a dangerous person coming to the house. And this is a fantasy book. It's adventurous, challenging, mysterious and medium paced. And basically what I really liked about this book was just the atmosphere and the world building. The story itself was also pretty interesting, and I also really liked all of the characters. Something that I didn't like, I'm not going to say because that's a spoiler. I'm not going to say it, but there was something that just wasn't for me, and therefore I gave this one 4 stars. Next up, I finished reading 11/22/1963 by Stephen King. This one I listened to on audiobook together with reading the physical one, and this was a buddy read for my Dutch book club. This book is about a man who can time travel and basically wants to save John F. Kennedy. This is a science fiction book. It's emotional, mysterious and slow paced. And this one took me a very long time to read because basically it was just not very nice to me. What I did like was the story. It was pretty interesting. I did like the characters, and the writing of Stephen King I just also really enjoy. But the pace I really didn't like. It was just way too slow. I think a lot of things, also something that I didn't like was the length. A lot of things could have just been cut out or just condensed. And I also didn't really like the ending. because skip a little bit ahead if you don't want to learn anything, but basically because it made the whole book pointless, in my opinion. So this book I gave 2.5 stars, so I didn't really like it, and I should have DNF'd it basically, but some people said that it was better, but I didn't think so. Next book I read was Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson. I listened to the audiobook and I read this for the Literally Dead book club. This book is about a woman who goes to this island with her husband for their honeymoon, but nothing is what it seems on the island. This is a thriller, it's dark, it's mysterious, it's tense, and it's fast-paced. I really like the characters in this book. I really think Peter Swanson really, sometimes men can't really write women that well, but I really thought that he wrote the main character, who was a woman, very well. I really liked that. I really liked the story and the writing and the twists. There wasn't anything specific that I didn't really like, but yeah, it just wasn't like a wow factor to me. And I gave this one 4 stars. Next up, I read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, which I made a whole vlog about, so check it out up there. And then the next book I read was I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. I read this as a physical copy and at the same time listened to the audiobook, which was really nice. This book is basically what the subtitle, I think you call it, subtitle says: One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer. This is true crime. It's challenging, dark, informative, and slow-paced. I think just the creepiness level in this book was so high, and I just really, really loved that. And the story itself also just was very, very good. All the research and just the details, and yeah, I just really, really liked it. I didn't really like the structure of the book because basically they made a lot of time jumps. So for example, they start in 1985 or something and then to 2010 and then back, and then I didn't really like that. I thought it would have been nicer if it was just chronological. But yeah, that's maybe a me thing. But therefore I gave it 4 stars. Next book I read was Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I listened to the audiobook for this one, and this book is about an island where girls are sick with the talks and they need to survive. This is a YA horror. It's dark, reflective, and medium paced, and I basically loved everything about this. A lot of people didn't really like this book, but I don't really understand. It's queer as well, which I really enjoyed. The talks itself is just really creepy, and just the how it was described was just very, very good. I really liked the story. I liked all of the characters. It was just, I just really loved it. It didn't give me the wow factor, the bam. So I gave this 4.5 stars. But yeah, I highly recommend it. But yeah, some people didn't really like it. I forgot to mention that I also made a vlog of rereading white books. Basically, I started this challenge and this was one of the books that I read for that. So check it out. And the next book that I read was The More of Less by Joshua Becker. I read the ebook on my phone, and this book is basically about giving tips on being a minimalist. So this is non-fiction and self-help. It's informative, reflective, and medium-paced. And I really like the message in this book and the tips, because basically what happened is that I went minimalist, sort of. It's something that I have been doing already quite a lot, but now I really did a lot. Basically, I have 2 wardrobes and one of them is just stacked with things that need to go away, which I can't do right now because I don't have a car. But yeah, so that was something that I really liked about the book. It made me do what that it set out to do, but I really didn't like the tone. He was very like this, which I really didn't like, and I also really couldn't relate because he was talking, yeah, a lot about people who are already rich, like pretty rich, you know, 2 cars, a very big house, and he was constantly talking about those people. So for me, I don't have a lot of money. I live in a quite small apartment. I already don't have a lot of stuff. So for me it wasn't very relatable, which made it just annoying to read basically. And there was also some religious stuff that he put in the book, and I just didn't like that because I'm not religious. He said at the beginning of the book, yeah, I think you will be interested in this. I wasn't. It's just really not for me. And in these kind of books, it's just annoying if people do that because it's not the point of the book basically. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars, but when I was looking things up, I was like, no, this is 2.5 stars because I actually didn't finish it totally. So like almost like 10 pages or something that I didn't. I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then the last book that I read was Autobiography by Christina Lauren. I listened to the audiobook, and this book is about Tanner, who falls in love with a Mormon boy, and they are figuring out the relationship. This is a YA contemporary. It's challenging, emotional, lighthearted, and medium paced. Lighthearted for me is also always a little bit difficult with these kind of books, because for me it wasn't like very lighthearted, because there were a lot of tough subjects in it as well. But yeah, basically I liked everything about this book. It was just amazing. I really fell in love with YA again, because these kinds of YA books I just really, really love. So if you have some recommendations, please let me know. So yeah, I just liked everything about it. The only thing that I didn't like was the title, because it's just hard to pronounce. And yeah, I gave this 5 stars. It was amazing. Probably one of my favorite books. And yeah, those were all the books that I read in April. Let me know down below what you read. Did you read any of these books? Let me know what you thought of them. And yeah, I really hope you liked this video, so please give that a thumbs up, comment and subscribe, and I will see you later.